What's up guys, Matt here, back with another episode of The Spotlight, and tonight is the Spotlight on the Autumn Tour. That's right, we've got cities galore, we've got LA, we've got New York, we've got Vancouver. I hope you're loving it, and I hope you're enjoying a break from this absolute barrage of retro courses that we're getting in this game, bringing us new coverage that we constantly need on our account. As you know, I absolutely love to analyze these tours, analyze the items which are showing up, and we want to look at our top 10 rankings through the Ticket Time app. We want to take a look at what's showing up and ranked in ACR, and we also want to now take a look at what's showing up in the Spotlight shop and answering the question, should you purchase and should you invest in these items? So I know there's probably many of you out there who are thinking, why would I be wanting to invest into items during a city tour? Well, the reality is we can invest into items which are gaining value in ranked, in ACR, even if they also get city buffs. In fact, there's been a great discussion over on our Discord server, link down below to join, with Flo leading the charge, looking at some numbers where actually there is a positive correlation between the city retro buffs, so the retro buffs and the city buffs that items get. Basically saying that there is nothing saying that a city buff fills the gap of a retro buff and therefore means that an item has decreased value. Now, while that's true, we also know that items like King Mario, who has got so many new cities this tour after a full city start, it's hard to know what his value will be long term. So you still have to ignore those cities in a way. However, he still has some good retro buffs already, and he still has many retro courses to see, being that he has already been in 2 city tours. So guys, let's get into this episode. Let's analyze some items. Over on the Discord, if there's any items you want to look at as well, make sure to put your feedback in for next tour. What items are you trying to figure out if you should purchase or not? We would love to analyze the items and help you with your decisions as you make these purchases. Let's get started, but just before we get into the episode, I wanted to make a mention of our action count champion from the Halloween tour. We had this incredible run from OG Chef Dave. What's up, my OG brother? Absolutely unbelievable run on Airship Fortress T, one of my favorite courses of all time. It brings back memories of playing this game for the first time. He got an amazing 311 actions. Dude, this is just absolutely insane. Well done, dude. You are our action count champion from the Halloween tour. You get your special badge. You get to choose an emoji to be added to the server. So hit me up over Discord and let's set that up. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look. And first off, we're going to start off with the new items that are showing up this tour. So the very first item we're going to take a look at today is the yellow Mii racing suit. That's right, we've got a giant banana Mii. Hopefully that doesn't end up being rubbish like the Donkey Kong Mii racing suit. Unfortunately, it has basically a completely unknown start. We don't know if this thing is going to be valuable at all, because it only has city courses. Now, certainly it is interesting in terms of its start, seeing that it has 2 ranked appearances this tour, so you may need that, but we have right now no data in terms of the overlaps. So it really comes down to your account and whether it's needed in ranked or not this tour. So I would recommend that people pick this item up because it is Giant Banana, it is a Mii. Those 2 things in combination could be massive when it comes to the scoring potential of the Giant Banana with its hits and the extra scoring you can get there. And then also being that it's a Mii, so it's got the extra base points as well. That is a really cool combination. Hitbox doesn't matter, so this is really huge potential with 240 courses to see. Basically every single retro in the entire game, this thing could get crazy buffs. We just don't know. So for me, I've picked it up. I've spent my 70 rubies. We'll have to wait and see see what kind of buffs it gets. So don't invest into it straight away, I'd recommend, but do get prepared for that to get some really great value in the future. All right, so that's the yellow Mii racing suit. Now we're going to jump over and check out the other brand new driver this tour. We've got a very strange tour with only a couple of new items this tour. The second item is Orange Yoshi. So again, same situation as the yellow Mii racing suit. We don't know what Orange Yoshi's value is going to be. He's got the the Yoshi's Egg skill, which is quite a useful skill. It can be kind of a, low, just below a plus skill in terms of that. It's got completely, it's got overlap with coin box in every track right now, so pretty rough start when you've got all these tracks which have much better items. And he only has 1 ranked appearance, 6 ACR appearances this tour. That 1 ranked appearances has heaps of coin box and other items on it, so pretty gutting for Orange Yoshi in terms of his start. But again, it's a super, could become useful as it gets more and more buffs, could get a few ranked exclusives. So I would absolutely make sure you go for ranked week 1. A lot of people don't know, but Orange Yoshi is only available week 1, and the ranked reward from week 2 is actually going to be Blue Yoshi. So make sure you're investing into ranked for this week to ensure you secure that win, to ensure that you get Orange Yoshi. But like I say, probably not worth investing into this tour. Let's see what kind of courses he gets and what kind of value he gets once he starts to see some of these 240 retro courses. Alright guys, so that's it for our new drivers. Let's now move along to our new karts. So we got a lot more new karts this tour. And actually no new gliders at all, which is fascinating. So the first one up is the Blue Speeder. And the Blue Speeder debuts at number 119 in the ticket time rankings, which is not a great start. It has, of course, the same 240 retros to see. You'll see the same pattern for every single one of our new items. And it's got a bunch of New York minutes and a bunch of Vancouver velocities. So it starts out with the 9 courses. It's got 14 ACR appearances and 3 ranked appearances. So it is our strongest item showing up in ACR this tour. For people who are going top 100, it's a pretty clear item to look at obtaining and leveling up if you are going for like a top 100 run or something like that. But we don't know what the value of this item will be. So for most people, it's going to be a maybe purchase and maybe invest. It's got the mini turbo skill, which is good. It could get some great value, but we just really don't know. So that's the Blue Speeder. I really like the design. Then moving on to place 118, 1 place up in the ticket time rankings, we have the Gold Eagle. So this is a great situation that we get this for free in ranked. It seems that we're going to get more and more some new items in our Gold Pass. Could be really valuable. Again, we don't know. The Gold Sweet Rider is starting to gain some great value. It's showing up like higher in the rankings than we've seen before. Gold Pass items typically will. This Gold Eagle, it's got some great coin box overlap, and it does have a pretty decent sized hitbox. People were saying it's slightly wider than the Cupid's arrow and slightly longer too. So it's got that kind of dimensions where it is great for coin boxing. I would recommend you, if you're a Gold Pass player, that you pick it up and you check it out and see how you like the handling and the feeling before you go and look at some of the other ones. So looking at the other ones now, we've got the Swift Talon. This is the normal or the most, the basic one here. Here we go, Swift Talon. A lot of Los Angeles and New York and a couple of Vancouver courses there. It debuts at number 114 on the ticket time rankings, which is obviously not great. It's got 2 ranked appearances, which is pretty solid, and 12 ACR appearances. So again, pretty solid start in terms of that ranked and ACR value, and it's got the jump boost plus skill, which is very nice too. So I don't know, tell me guys, are you liking this item? Are you going to pick it up? Again, I would not recommend we invest into this item right now. Rather, what I would recommend is look at the courses that you've got and the carts that you've got. Look at how many tickets you've got and think about what you need to score for ranked, and invest into the items which you're already invested into so that they gain value and they give you more courses. You can always pick this item up and wait until it gains value before investing into it. But like I say, it's just a completely unknown factor. It could turn out terribly, and you'll regret your decision of spending your tickets now. So it's not like when we have a bunch of retros, it's already giving you 5 if you level it up. It will hopefully get some great value next tour, but the big, risk here is with those B-Dasher Mark II variants with all the different colors. They came out, about a year ago in the same situation, all at the same time, and all of them had kind of middling to low value. We've got the same situation here. We've actually got 5 new carts, including 3 of these eagles, which are all recolors all coming up at the same time. So typically this is more of a commemorative type situation with carts where we're getting lots of options, but none of them will necessarily have great value. So we could be wrong, but we just have to wait and see to find out what the value's worth. So that is the Swift Talon, and then we move on to the third variant, which is called the Blazing Eagle. All right, the Blazing Eagle. And this one debuts at 109 on our Ticket Time rankings. It has 13 ACR appearances and 4 in ranked. So this is absolutely the craziest one in terms of the ranked value. If you really need to win ranked this tour, this would be the one to invest into early, but there is no guarantee that that means that's the best item long term. You know, we've seen tours where one item comes really hot out of the gate, and then maybe the item, which was an alternate version, gets more of the better buffs. And with this one, that initial starting value is all cities. So even though it's amazing for ranked this tour, it doesn't mean it will be great for ranked next tour. In fact, it could have 0 ranked appearances, which are all the new courses, all the new retros that you want to see. So while I would say it could be worth picking up if you like it, if you want to look at it, it's going to have to recover from the city start. It could take 4 or 5 tours to recover to see if it has really any value at all. All right, guys, those are the Eagle carts. Now we're going to move on and check out the Orange Turbo Yoshi. So again, this is a ranked reward for week 1, not for week 2. That will be the Blue Turbo Yoshi. This one, again, starts with all city courses. It only has 6 courses, so it's quite low being a super. Again, we've got no data on overlaps for retro courses. It doesn't make any sense yet, but it does have 1 ranked appearance. Maybe it will help you. Unfortunately, the one course that it did get in ranked is a coin box course, so it's not great for coin boxing, and you probably are already covered on the course that it is there for. Alright guys, those are the new items. Now we're going to look at some of the items which are showing up on the Spotlight shop. So I'm just going to quickly jump across and show this brilliant image which has been shared. Massive thanks to Sam78IT for his data mining work and for putting this graphics together for us. So these are the items showing up in the daily spotlights, and there's some interesting additions this tour. Now it's not super cut and dry how stuff appears. We've got the Bowser Tour items now starting to show up, but what you'll see is we don't see any lava rocks, we don't see the red off-roader. There's a whole bunch of different items that we actually are not seeing here. The ones I can see are the black baby buggy, the Cact-b, and the Black Starchute. Now don't get me wrong, though, 2 of those items are really great value. No, you've got one guess to guess which ones that are the valuable ones. But like I say, the red off-roader has not showed up, and that's because it has 0 ranked appearances this tour. Now it's just knocking on the door of the Ticket Time top 10, so it is a very valuable cart that's gaining lots of really good value, with the Cact-b just ahead of it. But the Cact-b and the Black Starchute are the ones that have shown up in ranked, and therefore they are the ones that have shown up in the Spotlight shop. So we're going to take a look at some of these items. Other ones of note, I see Daisy Swimwear in there, Pauline Party Time and Rosalina Swimwear are 2 drivers of interest, so we're going to talk about those ones as well. Lots of other interesting items in here, a lot of repeats. We've got the Piranha Pipes, which we're going to talk about. In the last couple of episodes, we already covered the Coral Jet Cruiser, the Strawberry Soft Swerve, the Lightning Streamliner, the Tropical Truck, a lot of these different items. So we're not going to dive into them today because we've already covered them. So let's go in and look at some more items as we go through. Cool. All right. So by the way, you'll notice that I didn't talk about any new gliders. That's because this tour, we do not have any new gliders, which is insane to think. But I think there's definitely something going on here in terms of how Nintendo is spreading out the value and slowing down the new items coming into the game. And you want to think twice about passing up new items. Yes, you should be judicious with your rubies, be careful and don't spend them all at once. However, if you think about it, we've only had a couple new drivers like Luigi Chef. And at the time I said, he's not really that interesting. He's got the triple banana skill. But here's the thing, we could start to see some real course exclusives with Luigi Chef. We just don't know. And in the interim, we haven't had many new drivers either. So that could really hamper things. You know, don't buy Pauline Party Time and Sunshine Mario, these drivers, they are not really useful. So really do pay attention to some of those new ones and think about in the future, you know, what's going to happen. Let's use Luigi Chef as an example, which informs our behavior and how we shift our perspective and our strategy with playing this game, obtaining items and leveling them up. All right, so let's go ahead and jump back to the drivers. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at some of the ones that are showing up in ranked, some of the ones that are showing up in the Spotlight shop, and see what's gaining value. So first up, I want to take a look at Mario Musician. And Mario Musician is, spoiler alert, not a great item to purchase. I would not recommend it. But interestingly, this tour, he has 12 ACR appearances and 2 ranked appearances. So I thought it warranted us taking a look at him just purely based on that. And yeah, let's see what we can kind of figure out. Here he is, Mario Musician. I think you got to be so careful because he seems super valuable. But the thing is, these courses may not ever return. We've had this situation with New York Minute, the original, not returning at all. Pretty crazy. Also, the New York Minute 2R hasn't returned either. So it's interesting. So he has no buff potential left for existing retros. He has, let's just check out some more overlap here. He has some, not a heck of a lot of overlap, but he does not have a lot of courses. He only has 11 retro courses. Not very interesting. Definitely not a lot of Coinbox overlap, which is really good to see. However, the only reason you're really going to be investing into Mario Musician would be for New York Minute. You can see he's got massive amounts of those courses. That's Mario Musician. I would say skip him, guys. Look at other items, invest into other items in ranked, which can give you the same scoring potential without taking your tickets and giving you very little in return. Okay, so speaking of old drivers, Pauline. So Pauline, let's take a look at her. She's obviously got no buff potential left. She's at 125 on the ticket time rankings. She does have 8 ACR appearances and 2 ranked appearances, but she only has, look at that retro list, she only has 10 retro courses, a lot of them being RTs. Obviously they're a little bit more valuable now that we rank RTs a little bit higher with the return rate. She's got 3 overlaps with Mario Tuxedo, 3 with Charging Chuck Gold. What else? 3 with Luigi Painter. 2 with Rosalina Chef. 2 with Dry Bones Gold. 2 with Rosalina Swimwear. And again, she has quite a lot of New York Minute coverage in terms of those nitros. So not really an interesting driver. Again, just because she has those couple of ranked appearances doesn't mean you should invest. I would say stay away from Pauline and do not purchase her. All right, let's move along swiftly. I need to get Pauline out of my system now. Yuck. Let's move on. Okay. All right, so next up, Mario Baseball, another very city, I guess, related driver. Quite an interesting one. He came out quite a wee while ago. He has no buffs left to see. He has 21 retro courses and 15 nitro courses. A lot of the Los Angeles Laps courses are in there. He has some Mario Circuit, some Cheap Island, Maple Treeway. What you'll see is not a lot of 2022 courses, which is really the problem for him. He's at 111th place on the ticket time rankings. He has 10 ACR appearances and 2 ranked appearances. In general, I would recommend that most people stay away from him. He has 6 overlaps with Yoshi Kangaroo. He has 4 with Rosalina Volendam. He has 4 with Mario Halloween and Peach Happy. 3 with Block Me Racing Suit and Gold Cooper Free Running and Mario Hakama. And 2 with Peach Vacation, along with a bunch of others. So if you're invested in those drivers, I would not recommend that you invest into Mario Baseball. He doesn't show up in ranked very often, and he will not be getting buffs on new courses or returning retros very often, if at all. So that's Mario Baseball. Again, I'd recommend you don't invest in him if you get access to him this tour or have access to him already. All right, let's move along. And now we're going to move into some ones that are a little bit more interesting. Now we're going to talk about Rosalina Swimwear. Rosalina Swimwear is not a new driver either. However, she does have some lasting value. Even if you wanted to start investing into Rosalina Swimwear today, purchasing her in the Spotlight shop, it could make sense. She does get some good ACR appearances and some ranked appearances every now and again. Just don't expect her to show up 2 or 3 times in ranked, and don't expect her to show up every tour in ranked. So right now she is showing up at number 53 in the Ticket Time rankings. She has 21 retro courses, 17 retro courses and 5 cities. She has 2 ACR appearances, and both of those are in ranked this tour. So you can see that's an interesting situation because she does have some of those older city courses. However, in general, you probably wouldn't see her in a typical tour showing up 2 times. And then in terms of the overlap, she has 5 overlaps with Mario Tuxedo and Peach Vacation. She has 4 with Pink Gold Peach, 3 with King Bob-omb Gold, 3 with Gold Koopa Free Running, and 2 with King Boo Gold. Then with the Lucky 7, she's got 4 overlaps with Mario Chef, 3 with Nabbit and the Nabbit Me Racing Suit, and 2 with Mario Satellaview. And then in terms of Boomerang, she doesn't have much Boomerang overlap to speak of really at all. And so even though she only has those 17 retros, these are ones that do show up quite often. We've got things like Rainbow Road, Choco Mountain T, Frappe Snowland, we've got Koopa Troopa Beach, Royal Raceway R&T, some Choco Islands, some Koopa Troopa Beach. So yeah, might be interesting to you. I would say, maybe like if you're like me, with the free-to-play account, I've got her at level 4. I'm going to keep her at level 4 at this stage. On my main account, she's at level 7 and double capped, and she will probably stay there. It's not going to make sense for me to triple cap her where she overlaps even in this tour with Charging Chuck Gold. I'm going to triple cap or quad cap him instead of her. So that's Rosalina Swimwear. Hopefully that's helpful if you see her appear in your Spotlight shop and helps you to make a decision. If you're already invested in some of these high-level overlap drivers, it might not make sense, but if the ones that I listed, you're not really invested in those ones, then she could be interesting for your account still even now in 2022. That's Rosalina Swimwear. Let's move right along to Pauline Party Time. This is a funny list of drivers, isn't it, guys? But Pauline Party Time, a lot of people give her a really hard time. She's always been the meme coin boxer. Now we've got Mario King, who we can make fun of as well. But Pauline Party Time has had a really interesting situation. She would be probably the comeback coin boxer of the year with a whole bunch of new retros, which you'll see on the list here, including Koopa Cape. We've got Piranha Plant Slide R. We've got, what else? She got Luigi Raceway T. So some really solid 2022 buffs, courses that we expect to return. She has 17 courses total, so actually pretty much the same as Rosalina Swimwear. And both of these drivers, by the way, have a large hitbox, which means that they will trump any overlaps with other smaller items. For example, Pauline Party Time has 5 overlaps with Dry Bones Gold. In every instance of that, I'm going to want to use Pauline Party Time over Dry Bones Gold. Now, I know that's a tough one because a lot of players who've been in the game a long time chose to invest into Dry Bones Gold before Pauline Party Time. And so they've already got them at a higher level back when we didn't really care or think about hitbox. So it's an interesting example, but if you have the luxury of being able to level her up, it might make sense. She also has 3 overlaps with Pink Gold Peach, Bowser Santa, and Mario Tuxedo. All 3 of those being, some pretty solid coin boxes. Only Bowser Santa trumping her in terms of the size of his hitbox, being a large driver. Matching her as a large driver. Then we've got 2 overlaps with Peach Vacation and 2 with Meowser. And then moving to Lucky 7, we've got 4 with Lakitu Party Time and Satellaview, 3 with Luigi Painter. And then in terms of Boomerang, there is really not much to speak of. You can see that these items, which are a little bit older, came out before we really had high-end boomerangs, and therefore Coinbox really ruled the roost without anything to kind of, upset that. That's Pauline Party Time. Still a great driver. Not an amazing driver for sure, but it's still got some value for sure if you're Coinbox. You love Coinbox like a lot of us. All right, that's Pauline Party Time. Let's move right along, and now we're going to take a look at the brand new Pauline Party Time, and his name is Mario King. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't take offense. It's just a fun game. It's just a joke. All right, so Mario King, here we go. Deep breath. He has 7 retro courses and 14 cities. He has 162 courses to see, so you can see that number's a lot lower than like the new yellow Me racing suit. But hey, that's nothing to shake a stick at. 162 retros is still really strong, and he's still new, so he could get heaps of the new courses, which really matters a lot more than the old retros. And then when we look at the overlaps, this is where it gets quite interesting. He only has 2 Coinbox overlaps with the question mark Block Me racing suit, and then not too much overlap apart from that. So this is a good sign. However, we have to bear in mind he only has 7 courses. So 2 overlaps out of 7, 2/7. There'll be some ones with 1 course as well that we're not looking at here. So yeah, it's a bit tough. I think Mario King will get his value, so don't be disheartened if you're someone who's invested early. He will get his value, and he's already getting all these city courses to carry you through ranked. This tour, he's sitting at number 28 on the ticket time rankings, which is looking really solid. He's got he has 5 ACR appearances and just the 1 ranked appearance this tour. However, I believe that the only other ranked option on his course is the Gold Me racing suit, who many people are probably not invested into. That's Mario King. We'll have to see how his value shows up. It doesn't mean he's a bad driver, but right now it's impossible to really know what his value will be long term. So be patient and wait. I would actually recommend most people don't invest into Mario King this tour. Instead, wait for a tour where he gets a lot more buffs, a lot more ranked exclusive, and starts to really peak in value. Then it will be more clear that you can start investing or continue investing into him if you've already got him at a base kind of level, like maybe 6 and double capped. All right, there we go. There's Mario King. And now we're going to take a look at one more driver before we dive into our top 10. And that is Bowser Santa. So I thought it would be really timely to take a look at Bowser Santa tonight, being that we're about to head into the holiday season. Seasons are really important to this game because these items are going to start to show up more and more in ranked. We saw it last year with Bowser Santa having this absolute monstrous streak with the courses they brought back being Bowser Santa exclusives or really strong courses for Bowser Santa. So we saw a lot of these courses last year. We're probably going to see some similarities this year as well. He has 19 retro courses. He has 8 nitro courses. He has no buff potential left in terms of retros because he's been around a while. But yeah, here's some solid value here. He's number 27 in the ticket time rankings. He has 4 ACR appearances this tour, and 1 of those is in ranked. It's a massive win when you get that battle course with Bowser Santa. And he also had, some really good coverage in the past too. So here we go. Bowser Santa, he has, in terms of plus skill overlap, you'll see he doesn't have much at all. He's got 3 with Pauline Party Time, which we mentioned before, 2 with Pink Gold Peach, and 2 with King Bob-omb Gold, 2 with question mark Block Me Racing Suit, 2 with Charging Shark Gold, and 2 with Mario Tuxedo. In terms of then the Lucky 7, he's got 4 overlaps with Peach Happy, 3 with Mario Satellaview, 3 with Mario Halloween, and 2 with King Boo. So really not too bad so far, right guys? That's pretty solid. Here's the 3 overlaps with Mario Samurai in terms of Boomerang, and 2 with Rosalina Volendam. But all in all, really not too bad. Bearing in mind he only has 19 courses, however, some pretty solid value, and a lot of those being pretty solid courses for him, not too much overlap. Alright guys, now let's go ahead and take a look at our carts, and we're going to start with an oldie. It is the cleanup hitter. This is one that's showing up in ranked with 2 ranked appearances, so I wanted to make sure I touched on it. I don't recommend investing into this card. It's got no buffs to see, being that it's quite an old item. It's only 134 on the ticket time rankings. Even though it has 8 ACR appearances and 2 of those being in ranked, it's not a great card. It is small, it has 7 overlaps with Rambi Runner and 6 with Cacti, which a lot of people have invested into. 5 for the Jet Cruiser, 4 for the Party Wing, 4 for the Lunar Cruiser, and then 4 for the Wild Pink White Turbo Yoshi. So those are some of the high level ones there. I wanted to make sure I mentioned it, seeing as it's showing up in ranked. If you've already got it at a high level, it might be useful for you, but this is one that a lot of people bought as a commemorative item many times, but didn't invest further into it because it just didn't get the exclusives that it needed to get. And speaking of these hitters, now we've got the pinch hitter, and the pinch hitter, relatively similar situation. It came out with Mario Baseball. This was one that was in a 100 pipe as opposed to those commemorative packs. It's only 132 on the ticket time rankings. Even though it has 31 courses, it has just so many cities in its value. It's got 8 ACR appearances this tour and 2 again in ranked, which is great to see for this item. However, unless you've already got it at a high level, it's probably not going to make sense to invest into, being that it only has the 18 retro courses, and then it has 5 overlaps with the Decal Streamliner, 4 with the B-Dasher Mark II, 4 with the Rose Cream, 4 with the Combo Cruiser, 4 with the Green Lightning, and the Tanuki Car, and the Happy Ride. That is the pinch hitter. Maybe just to hold your tickets and keep them away from this one, guys. Alright, and then moving on, another oldie but a goodie, the Cream B-Dasher Mark II. I've seen Sammy D and others talk about this cart being an interesting one because it's showing up in the Spotlight shop this tour. So I wanted to make sure to mention it. While it's a really cool cart, it's got a nice solid hitbox, a good skill with Jump Boost Plus. It's not going to get any more retro buffs. It is currently sitting at 108 on our ticket time rankings. It has 27 courses. It's got 11 showing up in ACR tour and this tour and 1 in ranked. But if you look at the breakdown, it's only got 14 actual retro courses. And when you look at those retro overlaps, you've got 7 with the Rambi Runner. So a lot of people are invested in the Rambi Runner. If you're not, this card could potentially make sense for your account. And especially if you weren't invested in the Ice Dozer and the Ice Blue Poltergust, and maybe things like the Frosty Bells, which are a smaller card. Those big cards, a lot of people are already invested into. I know for my free-to-play account, I'm not invested in the Rambi Runner, so I actually have the Cream B-Dasher Mark II at level 4 with a single cap. I would love to take it higher. It just hasn't had the ranked exclusives and things like that to make it make sense, whereas the Rambi Runner has a lot more courses and it's just a lot more valuable. I would way rather have access to the Rambi Runner and invest into that than the Cream B-Dasher Mark II from a coverage perspective. However, this is a fun card, so if you're not invested in these 3 top items, I would definitely take a look at it. However, just bear in mind that the courses it does have are all snow related as we go into winter for the Northern Hemisphere, and a lot of these courses don't show up that frequently in ranked or ACR, being that they're old 2021 value. Okay, so that's the Cream B-Dasher Mark II. Now we're going to take another look at one that's showing up in the Spotlight shop this tour, and that item is the Combo Cruiser. So the Combo Cruiser, this is a much better item than the ones that we just mentioned there. So this one is currently sitting at number 38 on our ticket time rankings. Unfortunately, the Combo Cruiser didn't have the lasting value we would have really expected. It didn't peak the way something like the Yellow Off-Roader did, where it kind of get that lasting value. It has got 4 ACR appearances this tour, with 1 of those being in ranked. It has 20 retro courses and 4 nitros, so really not too much in terms of the city courses. I would hope that the Combo Cruiser still gets some buffs. It only has 18 courses left to see, which is kind of these dregs of these RT courses that barely ever appear. And it's not really getting any new courses. It did get one recently. I think it was the battle mode course, Cookie Land, which obviously being a food-themed tour with a food-themed course, it kind of made sense. However, you know, it's not going to get a buff on a Halloween course or, you know, a Christmas course. It's very unlikely because it's just really not on theme for that. Looking at the overlaps now, it has 7 overlaps with the Green Lightning. It has 6 with the Yellow Off-Roader, which is really the always been the tough thing to get into the Combo Cruiser. That for me was one of the biggest problems. Both of my accounts are invested into the Yellow Off-Roader and the Combo Cruiser. So at some point I stopped investing on my free-to-play account because it just had too much overlap. Then it's got some overlaps, 4 with the Tropical Truck. What else is on here of interest? Yeah, 4 with the Sky Blue Dasher B Dasher Mark II, and 4 with the Sunny Surf Sailor. So that's the Combo Cruiser. Let's go ahead now and check out the next item on our list, which is one gaining a lot of value at the moment and also showing up in the Spotlight shop for the first time. You guessed it, folks, it is the Cact-b. All right, this is a really interesting item. I'm really stoked on this item. I actually, full disclosure, Flo, don't kill me, I took it to level 7 and triple capped it this tour. I couldn't resist, and the reason around it is it's number 22 on our ticket time rankings, not quite peeking into that upper echelon of items quite yet, but it has 7 ACR appearances and some really solid appearances this tour, as well as 2 of those being in ranked, and that was the key thing for me that I needed to see to know that I can invest further. It's been in ranked every single tour for the last 3, 4, 5 tours for me, guys, and it's had some really good buffs. If we look there, you know, I took it to level 6 and double capped it pretty much straight away, and yeah, it beat pretty much every single other item that I had on these retro courses. So it's got 15 retros already, 8 nitros, which is quite a large amount. That's picked up a few this tour. But if we look at the overlaps, there isn't really too many meta carts that it overlaps strongly with. It's got 4 with the Cact-r, which a lot of people invested, but just as many probably didn't. It also has 3 with the Dark Hot Rod, 3 with the Flaming Speeder, 3 with the Gold Sweet Ride, 3 with the Banana Master, 3 with the original Off-Roader, and 3 with the Red Off-Roader, and 3 with the Silver King. So not a huge amount of overlap there, but enough that it kind of makes you question whether it's valuable for your account or not. I love the skill, I love the size, I love the way it handles, and I love the way that Nintendo's buffing this item. So I'm real bullish on this item. I think it's going to be great, and I think it already is great. So I went ahead and took it to level 7 double cap, which I do not do that often with cards. So let's see how well that opportunity turns out to me. I'll keep you updated on the Cact-b as we go. Hopefully it gets some really good lasting value and it ends up more like the Yellow Off-Roader than the Combo Cruiser, because at the end of the day, that's the risk, guys. You don't know if it's going to end up one way or the other. All right, guys, let's go ahead now and check out our gliders that are gaining value and the ones showing up in the Spotlight shop. First of all, we're going to talk about one of the worst gliders in the game. I thought this would be a bit fun because people were talking about it. It's an interesting glider. You guessed it, guys. It is the Fear Flyer. It's number 157 on the ticket time rankings. Oh, that's not good, guys. And yes, it has 13 ACR appearances, which it sounds amazing, but think of it this way. Those are all cities. So it shows you how many cities it has. And it has 4 ranked appearances. So what I would say about this item is do not spend more tickets on it. Unless you're absolutely the most desperate you can possibly be and you can easily get back those glider tickets, I would say do not touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. We've got some other meta items that it has some overlap with. Hopefully you have some of these items and you can use them instead. Items like the 8-bit Firefly with 4 overlaps. Items like the Black Great Sail with 3 overlaps, or the Dream Glider with 3. Yeah, even like some supers with only 2. It doesn't have a crazy amount of retro overlaps because guess what? It doesn't have many courses. It's only got 9 retro courses. So yeah, avoid this item, guys. It is not great, which is why it's only 157th on the ticket time rankings. Okay, let's wash our hands of the Fear Flyer and move on to something else. equally as crazy and strange, the Star Spangled Flyer. Is that right? Should have been Star Spangled Glider. Star Spangled Glider. Here we go. Okay, the Star Spangled Glider has 18 retro courses, which might surprise some people. It seems a little better than you might think, but it's only 85th on the ticket time rankings. It has 10 ACR appearances this tour, and 3 of those being in ranked. Now, if you take a look at the courses, it does have a couple Rock Mountains, Rosalina Iceworks, Calamari Desert, Rainbow Roads. It's got some interesting courses, but all of them are prior to 2022. And yeah, they're just not great with that amount of nitros. I think that a glider needs to have kind of at least mid-20s to be even worth investing your tickets in to get really, really optimal coverage. And yes, this one has 6 overlaps with the New Year's 2021 glider. It's got 5 with the record setter, 5 with the Galaxy glider, 4 with the Dragon Wings, and 4 with a few different ones there. The 8-bit Star, Polka Dot Manta, Snow Crystals, Starry Great Sail, Gold Crane, Butterfly Sunset, Festival Wings. So, like I say, I would probably stay away from this glider, but just because it's coming in ranked doesn't mean you should invest into it. You're probably getting a theme for what I have to say today, guys, but it needs to be said. Speaking of items showing up in ranked, we've also got a newer item, the Gold Cloud Balloons. So I'm sure there's someone out there that's going to be looking to invest in this item. You picked it up when you went into that pipe back in that anniversary tour recently. Let's take a look at the Gold Cloud Balloons. I haven't looked at this item before. I'm quite interested to see where it lands. It's number 69th on our ticket time rankings. It has 17 total courses, with 12 of those being nitro courses. It has 7 ACR appearances this tour, with 2 of those being in ranked. Looking at the overlaps, it doesn't have any really substantial overlap here. So this is an item which is kind of a bit sneaky in a way, because it's got those, it's got two with the cream toe balloons, 2 with the Icy Mario's Moustache, 2 with the Gold New Year's Kite, 2 with a few different options, but nothing really stands out as massively, impacting on its value. So there's the Gold Cloud Balloons. Could be interesting if you're investing into it. It's got 162 courses to see, so it could end up good. The issue with an item like this, with so much nitro value at the start, is we just do not know if it's actually going to be useful long term or not. It could be the next Fear Flyer. So in general, I would say stay away from it. It is only 69th on our ticket time rankings. A lot of new items have shown up way better than that, and to recover from that is going to take months at this point. So that's the Gold Cloud Balloons. Now we're going to take a look at another item which we thought was going to be really crazy, the Icy Mario's Moustache. We've had so many moustaches this year, and I'll be talking about a really good moustache very, very soon for Movember. But the Icy Mario's Moustache, people were thinking, because it's got the green shell skill, that it would be an amazing item. Unfortunately, it just hasn't stacked up yet. It's only at number 27 on the ticket time rankings. It has moved up 5 places this tour, part of that being that it's had more appearances than it has before, with 5 being in ACR and 1 being in ranked. In terms of the overlaps, it has the 5 with Record Setter, 4 with Flying Flappers, Secret Scroll, Mint and Berry Balloons, Wonderful Wings, Aurora Balloons, Polka Dot Manta, and Silver Surf Master, and the Galaxy Glider. The problem with that list is every single one I just mentioned, you're probably invested in at least 2 of those, maybe if not more. So really not interesting, especially when you look further down the list and you see more very meta gliders. It's only got 102 courses to see, so it's kind of at the middle point of where we understand its value to be, and it's not looking great. I would see that this item probably gets a couple exclusives and then peters out and probably lands around the 40s and 50s in terms of the rankings. So I would stay away from the Icy Mario's Moustache. Couple that with the fact that it's got the green shell skill. It's just not a great item, guys. Okay, cool. All right, so those guys are the items that I wanted to have a look at in terms of what's showing up in ranked. You'll definitely see a theme there. Now let's talk about some much better items, and we're going to jump back again to the drivers and talk about a couple items which are showing up in the top 10. So first of all, let's go ahead and look at the ticket time rankings for the drivers. And look at the top 10. So I'm over here on ticket time. We've got in 10th place Daisy Tie Dress. We've got in 9th place Yoshi Kangaroo. We've got in 8th place Charging Chuck Gold. In 7th place we've got Meowser. 6th place is Question Mark Block Me Racing Suit. 5 is Luigi Knight. 4 is Rosalina Volendam. 3 Mario Samurai. 2 PD Piranha, and our number 1 driver in the game is the Cact-b Racing Suit, still holding on to its position. So I want to take a look at Rosalina Volendam. Let's jump across and see where is she at, how is she doing. Rosalina Volendam has probably been our best boomerang driver that we've had this year. Really consistently showing up in ranked. Great ACR coverage. A lot of people invested in her. Great design. People love her. So she is number 4 on the ticket time rankings. She has 6 ACR appearances with 1 in ranked. As usual, she's back in ranked. She's got 21 retro courses total with 14 nitros. You can see that boomerang value is there where they just get so many courses. And we don't care if they're nitros, right, guys? This is an example of someone that, if it gets the right buffs, if it's a great item and Nintendo likes to buff it, there is really no downside to getting those city buffs. With 48 retros still to see, she's still got some value that she could get. She has massive value for Amsterdam Drift when it shows up in ranked and ACR, as well as Vancouver Velocity, which she got a lot of those courses this tour. And then looking at her overlaps, what you'll see is in her, there is no overlap with much at all apart from 4 with Luigi Vacation, 2 with Peach Vacation, 2 with Pink Gold Peach. So in terms of the plus skills, she is hugely powerful. 7 overlaps with Tanuki Rosalina, which is a bit disappointing for people maybe who love Rosalina and who invested early in Tanuki Rosalina. But for those who didn't cover those courses, then Rosalina Volendam is a great bet. Certainly now her value is starting to maybe peter out a little bit in terms of the new retro she gets in the new courses. However, she could still make sense to pick up and invest into if you see her in your shop. That's Rosalina Volendam. Now we're just going to take a look at one more driver in our top 10 this tour. By the way, if you have any items that you want me to invest some time into looking at next tour, make sure to let me know over on our Discord. The link's in the description down below. So now we're going to take a look at our number 1 driver in the game. It is the Cact-b Racing Suit. It's been a while since we checked back in on the Cact-b Racing Suit, so I thought it could be cool to look at. Very similar kind of point in the game for the Cact-b as Rosalina Volendam, being that these items have been around a while now. So it's our number 1 driver. It's got 6 ACR appearances with 1 being in ranked. It has some incredible value with 23 retro courses. Absolutely insanely good value with 13 nitro courses. Huge numbers, guys. 6 overlaps with Yoshi Gold Egg, 5 with Meowser, 4 with King Bob-omb Gold, 4 with Mario Tuxedo, 3 with Kamek, 3 with Daisy Tie Dress, so on and so forth. 5 with Luigi Vacation, 4 with Yoshi Kangaroo, 3 with Mario Samurai. And then for the Lucky 7s, 6 with Peach Happy, and then we've got 4 with Lakitu Party Time, 3 with Mario Satellaview, and 3 with Luigi Painter. And as you can imagine, when you've got that many courses, you're a me, you've got those extra base points, most of those things are irrelevant. The only thing that hurts a little bit is that Yoshi Gold Egg overlap, where he's a great driver too, and unfortunately for Yoshi lovers like me who've ended up invested in the Cact-b, it's just made him not as valuable. He's got 31 courses still left to see, and he's still getting ranked appearances. We had thought maybe his value would kind of petered out now, but we are still seeing a little bit of that lasting value. I heard Studfit saying that you know, it makes sense that Nintendo keeps giving him buffs so that people keep moving towards tier 80 as that reward. So yeah, maybe that does ring true, that he continues to get buffs and he continues to be the best driver in the game for a long while, maybe another 6 months, when most of the people who are going to go for tier 80 have reached that point. But the reality is, if a new player starts now, they might take another year to get the gold meat at the very least. And so the question would be, is that going to be really a great reward in a year's time if none of those courses are returning? So we'll have to see what happens with this. It could be really interesting. Maybe they switch it up somehow, or you know, play around with how they give rewards. I guess now we've got a level 100 reward, which we're looking to achieve at some point, which means that the gold me maybe is kind of almost just like a bonus along the way, because we don't maybe think about the bronze and the silver me racing suit in the same way. Though silver me did get a great ranked appearance this tour with barely any other exclusives. So anyway, complete side note, but the gold me, really interesting and quite long lasting value. I saw Luca, what's up my brother, hope you're watching. I saw you took gold me already up to level 6 and double cap for the first time this tour, which is really interesting to see. I hope it really gains value for you and helps you out in your ranked and ACR goals. So guys, that's our top 10 for the drivers. Now we're going to move along to the karts, and I'm just jumping over to ticket time here. Let's take a look at the top 10 karts in the game. In number 10th place, we have the gold standard. That's right, a tiny little gold kart. Really fascinating. It's up 2 places this tour. Hey, sure. Then we've got the White Bruiser down 2 places in place 9. I just took it to level 6 and double capped on my free-to-play account. It is a great kart. With this tour, it actually has 3 ACR appearances and 1 in ranked as well. So some great stuff there. Piranha Pipes is pretty cool too. I want to dive into that a little bit. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And place 8. Then the Green Cat Cruiser in place 7. Number 6, the Strawberry Soft Swerve, which we looked into last tour. Make sure to check out that video. Number 5, the Green Yellow Capsule Kart, which is just on an absolute rampage for a small kart. Really interesting coverage. The Magma Broom, which we covered last tour. The Lightning Streamliner. Number 3, the Shielded Speedster. Number 2, and the number 1 kart in the game, holding strong, is the Warrior Wagon. Really interesting to see that, really still topping the Armored Rider. Maybe we're not going to see what we want from the Armored Rider, and that Warrior Wagon is going to be the lasting value kart. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and find out. But guys, some massive shifts there in the last couple of tours. It's really a very different list than what we had before, but not much movement this tour, being that they are all city courses and that hasn't changed up the rankings that much. Okay, so looking at the Piranha Pipes, I wanted to take a look at this particular item. Let's jump over and take a look at its overlaps and its value. Alright, so the Piranha Pipes has 18 retro courses and 7 nitro courses. It still has 85 retros to see, so heaps of courses still to see. And then it has currently sitting at number 8 on our ticket time rankings. It has jumped up 3 positions there. It's got 3 ACR appearances, with 1 being in ranked. So looking at its overlaps, it has 4 with the Green Yellow Capsule, the Jukebox Buggy, Roaring Racer, the Yellow 8-bit Pipe Frame, the Lightning Streamliner, the Green Cat Cruiser, and the Shielded Speedster. Then it has 3 with the Magma Broom, the Warrior Wagon, the Silver King is interesting to see there, the Strawberry Soft Swerve, the Armored Rider, the Red Off-Roader, etc. So I won't cover them anymore, guys, but the Piranha Pipes, quite an interesting kart, could make sense to get into if you're not invested into some of these other karts that I just mentioned. Alright, let's move along now to our gliders, guys, and we're about to wrap this up. We're going to finish up with a really awesome item, the Black Starchute, but before we do, let's take a look at the Wicked Topaz. I realized I haven't covered this in the last couple of episodes, so I wanted to make sure I hit on this one here. It has really started to get some great value after a pretty slow start. People really thinking that it wasn't going to be a great glider, but now it is sitting at number 10 on our ticket time rankings. It has 3 ACR appearances, with one of those being in ranked. The Wicked Topaz has 22 retro courses, with 7 of those being nitro courses, and it has 53 courses still left to see, so still a really great item there. It has 6 overlaps with the Wonderful Wings, which is quite unfortunate for a lot of people, and it's probably the number one reason that I haven't invested into the glider personally. 6 with the Origami, then 5 with the Ninja Scroll, with the Booth Masks and the Black Cat Parafoil. And then we've got 4 with items like the Flying Easel, the Golden Wings, Sunny Surfmaster, Luigi Parafoil, the Tropical Balloons, Tanuki Parafoil, the Green Cat Parafoil, and the Sakura Origami Glider. So that's the Wicked Topaz. I know that some people have been purchasing in their Spotlight shops. Make sure you check out overlaps before you go and do that, guys, because with 6 overlaps with the Wonderful Wings, that's pretty tough to get into. Alright guys, we've saved the best till last, so let's go ahead and now look at some of our top 10 other than the Wicked Topaz. Jumping over to ticket time here, we've got some awesome items. So in number 9th place, we've got the Silver Luigi's Moustache, which we'll take a look in a moment, followed up by the Black Starchute, already in the 8th place in the ticket time rankings. We'll take a look at that one as well. Really interesting item, and the overlaps are really key with this one here. Then we've got the Secret Scroll, which we covered last tour, in 7th place. The Vanilla and Chocolate Balloons and the Piranha Plant Balloons, which we both covered in a previous episode as well. The Boo Masks in 4th place. 3rd place is the Tropical Balloons. 2nd is the Candlelight Flight, and number 1 glider in the game is the Wonderful Wings. I was taking a look for my own account at which next glider I want to take to level 7, maybe even to triple cap it, and it absolutely was the Wonderful Wings, winning by a country mile. I actually wanted it to be the Black Starchute because there's a little bit of overlap there, but actually it ended up being the Wonderful Wings. So it's undisputably the best glider in the game right now, guys. We've taken a look at it in the past, so we're not going to spend too much time on the Wonderful Wings right now. Let's go ahead now and look at the Silver Luigi's Moustache. Alright, so the Silver Luigi's Moustache is our number 9th glider in the ticket time rankings. It has 6 ACR appearances, with one of those being in ranked. It has 15 retro courses already. It has 7 nitro courses as well, with 137 courses to see. So this is what we like to see, guys. Think about those numbers. 137 to see. It's already got 15 retros. Pretty crazy. Taking a look at its courses, it has some Luigi Raceway, really strong there, Wario Shipyard, and a plethora of other items there as well. Looking at the overlaps, it has 5 with the Luigi's Hat Balloon there, which is a good kind of meta alternative item to that if you didn't get the Silver Luigi's Moustache. It has 4 with the Luigi Parafoil, the Wario's Moustache, the Ship's Wheel, and the Wonderful Wings and the Black Starchute. Then it has 3 with a bunch of other items there, which you can see some quite meta items in that list as well. Alright, so the Silver Luigi's Moustache might make sense for you if you're not invested in some of these items. It doesn't have any really strong overlap with some items that most people have invested into, apart from maybe those 4 with the Wonderful Wings, but that still leaves 11 courses of value there. So I know a lot of people are starting to look into it, especially with that Bullet Bills Plus skill, which is a really great skill to have to pair with Coinbox as well. Alright, that's the Silver Luigi's Moustache. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our final item, the Black Starchute. Really interesting item. A lot of people are asking about, being that it showed up in the Spotlight shop this tour. It's in the ticket time rankings in the top 10, and it is just so freaking cool looking. So this one goes up to you, Frenzy Fanboy. I hope you enjoy. The Black Starchute. So it's currently number 8 in our ticket time rankings. It has 3 ACR appearances and 1 in ranked, which doesn't sound that amazing, but that's because it only has 5 nitro courses right now, with 18 retro courses already. It has 125 courses to see, already 18, so just like the Luigi's Moustache, really amazing value to start off with. Taking a look at it, has a lot of Bowser's Castle value, it has some Mushroom Gorge, it has some Ghost Valley, and some other bits and pieces too. In terms of its overlaps, it has 7 overlaps with the Boo Masks, 6 with the Lava Rocks, 5 with the 8-bit Bullet Bill, 5 with the Black Cat Parafoil, the Origami Glider, 5 with the Flyberry Book, and 5 with the Sakura Origami Glider. And then it has 4 with a bunch of other ones there, including things like the Candlelight Flight, the Silver Luigi's Mustache, which we just mentioned, the Dream Glider, the Wicked Topaz. So you got to be real careful with these items, guys. I do recommend making sure to look at your BGR tracker, which, by the way, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on very, very soon, so stay tuned to the channel for that. And taking a look, once you've filtered out some items which are really good already for your account, what courses are left and what courses are you actually going to get the upgrades on? For me, the Black Starchute makes sense to keep investing into maybe in a few tours time. I'm not invested in the Boo Masks or Lava Rocks. However, I am invested in a bunch of other gliders which overlap quite a lot, like the 8-bit Bullet Bill, for example, the Candlelight Flight, these items. So my plan for the Black Starchute will be to take it to level 7 and at least double cap, probably triple cap, but we really need to see more buffs and more value before I make that call. In fact, it's probably the same as like the 8-bit 1-up, which I just took to level 7 and triple capped. It really needs to get a few more buffs to get kind of into that higher 20s before it makes sense to really take it to that higher level. So we'll see what ranked courses it gets. If it gets lots of ranked exclusives and some great non-overlap courses, then that's when it's going to get a lot more interesting to take it higher. That's it about the Black Starchute, guys, and that is it for our Ticket Time Top 10 and for this episode. I hope you really enjoyed me taking a look at these items. Make sure to join us on Discord and let me know what items you would like to cover next and what items you're investing into and purchasing in the Spotlight shop. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to be doing a follow-up video where I look at the BGR tracker and break that all down for you on how to use it. We're going to take a look at the Antilev's version, which is the one I recommend because it's got some amazing tools to help you look at overlaps and things like that. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Like if you liked it, sub if you loved it. Make sure to join us over on Discord. We'd love to have you there. Link in the description down below. And I hope you have an amazing autumn tour, guys. Peace out. See you later. Bye-bye.